How do you think stories are important in like our daily lives?
What is it about your daily life that makes it unique? Because everyone has a different kind of lifestyle, right?
So I think while you're writing, instead of focusing on like 50 different things about the story, maybe focus on one thing.
Give yourself like positive affirmations is actually really helpful. If you do it every day, like all of a sudden you're gonna start believing in it.
I think if you talk to yourself, your day just goes better. Welcome to a new episode of the Shiv Nadar School Podcast. Today, we're looking at how stories and simple everyday moments can help a student like me understand themselves. We have a very, very special guest with us today, Miss Stephanie Rodriguez.
Hello.
Welcome to the Shiv Nadar School Podcast.
Thank you for having me.
I recently read your book, Doodles from Boogie Down, and honestly, it's probably my favorite book right now. And it's from your childhood. So, what inspired you to turn your childhood into a graphic novel?
Well, this is one of my favorite stories to tell people when we're just having a casual conversation. It tells you a lot about myself. It was a special moment because I finally met someone, my art teacher, who was the person who supported me and pushed me to apply to a school that was a school of my dreams. Um, Actually, in real life, it wasn't my art teacher, it was my English teacher. I just changed it in the book. My art teacher went to that high school as a student. And when she found out that I wanted to apply, she decided to help me. So that's kind of how it got started. But it's just a story that is very dear to my heart and I like to tell. And I thought it would be fun to show as a graphic novel.
How do you think stories are important in like our daily lives
Mm.
and how they help students like me understand their own thoughts and their feelings?
Well, that was a really important part of the book for me because as a kid, at that age, at 13, I was really shy and I was honestly like a dork at school. I really was not popular whatsoever. So I was just afraid to even speak out loud. And I tried to show that in the book. Maybe she's not as shy as I was in real life, but you can see that she's going through a lot of emotional like turmoil in her mind. Just like the fact that she feels that she's being judged by her friends and she doesn't feel like she can open up to them anymore. And she's making these assumptions because of not because of something that they said, but what she's assuming that they're thinking of her. So I feel like that's something that any kid could relate to. It's like trying to navigate friendships and how to communicate with others. It's difficult at this time. We're still like figuring out life, right? So I wanted that reflected in the book so that kids could relate to it in a way.
It does get complicated. You don't know who to talk to about something. Students also feel that, oh, my life's so boring, I can't write a story on it. So, what would you tell these students so that they can feel that, oh, I can write a story about my life?
That's such a good question. I mean, like I was always an observer as a kid. Like I always like looked at the details of life, and um, I I focus on comedy. Like I always find like what's funny about something. Um, and I guess like all kids like to write different types of genres, I guess. But I guess like focus on the details. Like what are the specifics about your life that make it different from your friends? Like it could be as simple as I don't know, you live in a different kind of complex and you interact with different people than they would. So I would think that, like, what is it about your daily life that makes it unique? Because everyone has a different kind of lifestyle, right?
So, a lot of students they feel that they're gonna get judged. So, what would you say to people that struggle with this pressure?
I think I would give like the advice of just talking to yourself. I talk to myself all the time. Maybe some people think I'm crazy, but but I like to give myself pep talks. Like maybe in the morning, like I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, "You're the coolest person ever. Like you got this. Like no one's gonna mess with me today." Like just give yourself like positive affirmations is actually really helpful. If you do it every day, like all of a sudden you're gonna start believing in it.
I think if you talk to yourself, your day just goes better
Yeah.
because you're more positive that day.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, you're like a really good writer.
Thank you.
So, do you have any advice for young students, like something they should start following from today if they want to become a writer?
Well, so number one is I think to create a good environment for yourself for when you're going to write. Um, because we have a lot of distractions, right? You have the phone and TV and a lot of stuff. And like, I mean, I could be on my phone for an hour easy, maybe more. I don't want to admit it, but it's true. So I think hiding your phone, turning it off completely. You go to a place in your house or wherever, a library. I love a library. And like you know that that's that place where you're going to write. Like that's like the best advice I can give is like create the environment so that you can start because starting is just the hardest part, right? Another thing would be to set a timer because sometimes you're just there and you're staring at a screen or you're staring at the paper and you're just like, I don't know. It could take like 10 minutes just to even write something down, right? So I would set a timer. Like I'm just gonna give myself 30 minutes and let's see what comes out of it. And no pressure, just see what flows. And you're gonna see that 30 minutes is gonna go by and it's gonna be like an hour and a half, 2 hours later, and you're still writing. So that's my best advice that I can give as a writer.
That's really good advice.
I wanted to add something for that because sometimes it's hard to get started, um, and sometimes you get stuck. What I I'm huge on characters, so and I actually have a hard time with like the plot sometimes. I'm like, yes, I know generally what's happening, but then I'll get stuck. Like, how do we move from this scene to the next scene? So I'll pause and then I'm like, I'll just like mess around and write about this character. Let me focus on Tiffany, for example. What's her life like outside of school? How what's her personality like and how would she react to a situation? And I feel like that's going to help inform what's going to happen in the story.
So, I think while you're writing, instead of focusing on like 50 different things about the story, maybe focus on one thing.
Mhm.
Like you said, focus on the character, keep
Yeah.
building it,
Yeah.
and then eventually, yeah, you'll be done.
Yeah, you'll come up with some idea in the middle of it. You're writing about one character and you're like, "Ooh, I said this one thing. Let me in a different document write this down. I'll look at it later." It's gonna flow. It's gonna be crazy at first, but then once you get further into your story, then you can start getting organized. Because that's how it worked for me.
So, that's good advice for anyone who wants to start writing.
Mhm.
So, one question before we wrap
Mhm.
up. So, obviously, you're older now than you were in the book
Mhm.
because you were like a teenager
Yeah.
in the book.
Yeah.
So, what would you say if you had to go back to the version of yourself in the book? What would you say to her?
Oh, you'll make me cry because I get so emotional about this. On my phone, I don't have it on me, but I have a photo of myself when I was 12 years old. So I do that because I learned it from a friend. And it's basically like anytime you talk negatively to yourself, because you're going to look at your phone every day, right? So if maybe I'm in a bad mood, I'm talking negative about myself, I'll look at my phone and I'm like, would I be speaking negatively to this girl, this 12-year-old? Like, no, like she's like so sweet and like and dorky and shy, like, she doesn't deserve that, you know what I mean? So, I think if I were able to go back and speak to my teen self or my 13-year-old self, like in the book, I would just tell her that everything's gonna be fine, like, you got a lot of cool things that are gonna happen to you, and life is gonna be a roller coaster and super exciting, and maybe life at right now seems very small, and, um and you want to explore more, but it's gonna happen. Uh, don't rush to want to be an adult. I was really hard on myself as an artist growing up. Every year, my art improved, right? But I had a really bad tendency of looking through my old artwork from the previous year and getting embarrassed for no reason. No one said anything. This is all in my mind. I was just like, "Oh my gosh, I draw so much better this year. This is so ugly. Like, what if someone sees it? How embarrassing." And I would throw it out. Like I would literally like just get rid of it because I was just like, "Well, I'm drawing like I how I draw now is so much better. Like I don't even want anyone to see the old stuff." Which I don't know why I did that. I was just too much in my head, and now as an adult, I regret that so much. I see other people that have other artists that show work from when they were like teenagers or younger, and I'm like, I don't have that because I was so hard on myself that I threw it out. So, I would probably, you know what, back to the other question, I would just go back to her and be like, "Don't throw it away."
You could keep it as a memory, now that you're older, you could see it. Oh, I made this when I was younger, like that,
Yeah,
right?
it's nice to see the progression.
So, do you have any advice for young students like me who want to create their own graphic novel?
If there's any advice that I can give a sixth grader who is a creative in any sort of aspect, is to keep practicing your craft. It's always going to get better and better. But most importantly is to always have fun with it. Like there's no reason why you should keep working on a project if it's not working out for you or you feel like it's forced. Like definitely make things that make you happy. Put your work out there, expose it to different people, like friends, and you'll find your audience. You'll find people that like the same things and are like, "Ooh, I want more of that," because that's how it worked out for me. I just wrote stories that made me laugh and entertained me, and once I started putting it out on the internet, other people liked it too. And so that's how it works. Like not everyone's going to like my stuff, like, but there will be somebody out there that it makes sense for, you know?
So, I get what you're saying. Just do what you like to do, and eventually people will come and like read your books, and that's if they like what you've done. And not everyone's going to like it,
Right.
but the people who will enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much for coming to the Shiv Nadar School podcast. You gave very, very insightful tips.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure talking with you.
We hope this episode encourages you to even notice the little details in your life. Until next time, stay curious and keep learning.